Hello YouTube, this is Soundwave913 coming back at it again with a brand new video. And this time we're not taking a look at something you can currently buy at the stores. Wow, how fascinating. Today we're going to be taking a look at 2008's Deluxe Class Animated Soundwave with his guitar cassette Laserbeak. So, what's the lore of Soundwave? You guys know who Soundwave is. I'm pretty sure every common Transformer fan at least knows Optimus Prime and Soundwave. Alright, we good? Alright, moving on. So, he appeared in Transformers Animated, and to be honest, he wasn't my favorite incarnation of Soundwave, mainly because he only showed up in, around 3-4 episodes tops, and wasn't really a part of the lore of Transformers Animated, which, to be fair, was a pretty damn good show. Now, do I remember everything about this character from the show? No, it's been like a good, solid few years since I've seen Animated, although I did recently rewatch Season 1. But anyway, we're going to take a look at Soundwave in his vehicle mode first, as you can see, but just because I'm going to take a look at Laserbeak first, because this guy will keep falling off him. So, he's a guitar now. That's interesting. So, Soundwave himself. Well, he's now a van, because if there's one thing everyone knows, Soundwave can't catch a break of what alt mode he's supposed to be. He's either a van, a cassette player, not really, a spaceship, or, in the very rare occasions, a crocodile that turns into a bat. Go look that up. Anyway, so here we are, him in vehicle mode, and his main color schemes are, well, this kind of neon turquoise blue mixed in with the classic dark blue the character is known for, with some gold trimmings around the Decepticon logo and this power button. It kind of looks like the power button to the 360. Anyway, the back is unfortunately not painted, which sucks because literally every other bit of detail like this is painted on the toy, including these kind of nice homages to maybe Blaster. I don't know, it kind of looks like a cassette player / boombox on the side. Underneath him, he looks pretty solid. Not really any exposed kibble, so that's a plus, other than the massive Decepticon logo on the front. And this also does remind me of the original G1 Soundwave with the rewind, forward, eject, play, you know, all that jazz. So, how does he stack up? Well, here, as a size comparison with another fanbot from 2 years earlier, Transformers Cybertron Deluxe Cannonball. And yeah, this figure is pretty tall in his van mode. So, there's that. There's not much to say here. It's a van from a show that didn't really use the van mode that much. Anyway, so I bullied Laserbeak before, but let's start with him and his transformation. But I do want to point out this is a rad-looking guitar, and I do like the way they incorporated the red into the color scheme. So, very easy transformation on Laserbeak. Fold these bits out, fold that forward, and then take the top of the guitar, slide it down, and then you have Laserbeak. Very simple. No real articulation to speak of. There's some tabs right there. We'll get into that later. There's his head. Now, unfortunately, he isn't painted, so any of you talented customizers out there, you could theoretically paint Laserbeak's eyes. That seems to be the problem with Laserbeaks that get included with Soundwave, other than the G1 figure. They always lack the paint. I mean, there's this guy, there's the Studio Series Laserbeak. It goes on and on. It's like a curse. A Soundwave cassette curse. Alright, so moving on, let's talk about transformation for this guy. So, very easy. First thing you want to do is take the front and fold these bits forward, but don't fold them out all the way up. Next, come under here and flip what will be the chest up and tab it in like this. Fold the back wheels up, and then you want to take the front section, bend it forward slightly, and then come to the back and separate the arms like that. Well, what will be the arms. Then you can untab all this And let me show you this works. Swivel it around like this. Fold up the kneecaps, I suppose they would be, or the rest of the leg. Swivel them around, fold up the feet, then put the chest up. Rotate the waist to make sure everything is lined up correctly. Then, oops, sorry about that. Good old recording on an iPhone that doesn't have a tripod. It's always lovely. Fold that down, then flip up the hands, and vice versa right here. And finally, we can fold down the head, and with like that, get everything straightened out. We have Soundwave in his robot mode, and yeah, that's a robot mode, alright. He does have some wacky proportions. I mean, look at his arms, they almost touch the ground. But he does look aesthetically pleasing and does homage the original Soundwave in a lot of ways, you know, with the, you know, the rewind forward, the cassette essentials, as it were. The classic tape deck look, and of course the head kind of homaging Soundwave. Kinda. I mean, on a first glance, it wouldn't really look like Soundwave, save for maybe the eyes, but still, it's animated. They love changing up their characters. So, again, that neon blue detailing really does pop out in robot mode, and some more of it gets exposed here, along with some gold for the feet. Now, as for articulation, head turns. That's about it. I guess you can technically look up, but it's part of the transformation, so not really. This can also be considered a joint, but that will just move up the head. Arms move a solid 360 with a not really great in and out. Then swivel at the elbow, which is on its own little joint. As you can see right there. It's supposed to be straight, but you get the gist. And technically it's a double bend at the elbow because you have the ball joint here and then the hinge here. You know what they do. Waist swivel, legs move. Well, they could do a pretty good split. Well, split and, you know, walking forward, as it were. There is his split. He could do an alright one. A decent swivel at the knee, and then bend at the knee, and a decent amount of foot articulation for a toy from 2008. Although, can we just talk about his legs for a sec? They're bent in a weird way. I mean, no expert, but pretty sure that's not how legs work. So, I talked about Laserbeak before. See these little tabs right here? Well, you can have Laserbeak be mounted on his arm, which is really cool. So, that's honestly a cool feature. And also, you can do, if we turn a Laserbeak back, well, yeah, that's a problem with this figure. These clips tend to wear out over time, and it's happened on my copy. See these tabs right here? There's a hole right there, the screw hole. You can tab that in. You have Soundwave position everything right. Oops, there we are. Rocking out his guitar, just like in the show. One other thing I do want to point out is if I turn the head, see that right there, that black piece? That looks like it was originally supposed to be light piping, but they never did. Why? Well, that was a trend during the time. Some figures looked like they were supposed to have light piping. Nah, don't give it to him. So, there he is. And for size comparisons, here he is with Siege Soundwave. Of course, I have to have another Soundwave in this video. Fellow 2008 Deluxe Class Cliff Jumper and Studio Series Dark of the Moon Ratchet. So yeah, he's quite small. In fact, he's probably around the size of some of the Deluxes you can get in the retail stores today from both Earthrise and Studio Series. So yeah, not a tall guy, but it's whatever, it's a good figure. Which brings me to the final verdict of, yes, this is a good figure, you should go and get him. Now, does he have flaws? Of course he does, but he is honestly a pretty solid figure, and for a now 12-year-old figure from a show that ended kind of unceremoniously, but has a huge but dedicated fan base, this figure's worth getting, even for for a casual Transformer fan that doesn't really care about animated. It's a solid mold, it's got a solid robot mode, a simple transformation, some cool little gimmicks, and overall, it's worth it. Now, I don't know how much he goes for on the aftermarket, because I don't look up that shit, but if you can find him for a solid price, again, go for it. So yeah, this is my review of Transformers Animated Deluxe Soundwave, or whatever you want to call him, Soundwave, Animated Soundwave, Electromagnetic Soundwave. Yeah, I'm still not getting over that. I know that figure was canceled. Anyway, this is Soundwave913, signing out with Animated Soundwave. Have a good one, everybody.